Essex wakes up dry, but flash floods and washed out roads spark urgent calls for action.
And if they want us to put as much money as we can into flooding infrastructure, that's something we can talk about.
Graphic testimony on day 7 of the Marbury trial. A pathologist details Sarah Boulet's fatal injuries. And sweeping changes to how Canadians will be getting their mail.
That means finding efficiencies, reducing costs, reducing overhead.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Between 50 and 100 millimeters of rain fell in Harrow and Colchester yesterday, completely overwhelming the sewer system there. Roads and fields were flooded. Now the waters have receded and the county has had a chance to dry out. Let's go to CTV's Chris Campbell tonight. Chris, what is the situation out there like today?
Well, Stephanie, the good news is the water has mostly receded. Yesterday's rainfall forced County Road 50 to close, but crews worked steadily throughout the day to stabilize and reopen the roadway. And while things look a lot drier tonight, Mayor Bondi says the town needs to hear input from residents.
It was like nothing I've ever seen.
Essex residents near Harrow and Colchester woke up to clear skies and drying basements after yesterday's sudden downpour caused widespread flooding and road erosion.
Unreal. Hope we never see it again.
This road here from here to the corner was underwater.
So far, the town of Essex logged 50 flooding complaints.
We got all the rain that we needed all at once, over 5 inches in 2 hours.
At the height of the storm, County Road 50 was closed between County Road 41 and Right Side Road. Crews worked all day to get it repaired, while impacted residents tried to mitigate their own damage.
We're going to have to dig a trench and put some tile down in between the houses in order for that to not happen again.
Yesterday was, it's nothing out of the norm. We've seen this happen more than once in recent years. It started off as just a rainfall and it kept coming, and people probably weren't prepared for it. I don't think anybody can prepare for these storms that are happening more often than not.
Local businesses like Home Hardware were busy as residents stocked up on sump pumps and supplies to keep the water at bay.
I feel for the people. It's bad. And, I don't know. These storms are happening more and more frequently. I think something needs to be done to control the water and get it out, whether it's retention ponds or something that can direct this surge of the storm water, because it's a lot.
We are still encouraging residents to contact a plumber. Have a plumber check out, do you have a backup sump pump? Are your eaves troughs connected into that storm water? Do you have a backflow valve? Those are the main things that residents can do to support and protect their own asset.
Mayor Sherry Bondi says the town continues to promote its subsidy program for backflow valves and sump pumps, but she's also urging residents to take part in shaping Essex's long-term flood strategy, encouraging people to come out to an upcoming budget meeting on October 2nd and a drainage public open house on November 26th.
I'm encouraging residents to come out to talk about their budget priorities, and if they want us to, stop spending money on roads, stop spending money on parks and rec, and put as much money as we can into flooding infrastructure, that's something we can talk about.
With recovery underway and roads reopening, officials say the focus now turns from emergency response to long-term planning. County Road 50 is fully open this evening, but the bigger challenge is ongoing: how Essex can better withstand the next storm. Mayor Bondi says public input at those upcoming meetings will be key.
Have your voice heard. Okay, Chris Campbell tonight. Thank you, Chris. So our question of the day is, have you ever experienced flooding in your home? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you zip or merge in construction zones. 54% of respondents say yes, they do. From flooding to more sunshine, CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins us for a first look at the weather from the top of the Bell Building tonight. Good evening, Gary.
Good evening, Stephanie. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the drier, calmer weather after the storm. Indeed, sunshine's the theme for the next little while. We are going to see it for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The worst of this weather that we've experienced over the last 36 hours is well to our east. That huge spin of low pressure is blanketing Quebec, Maritimes, Atlantic Canada with clouds and showers. Meanwhile, we are going to stay in a southerly form with that wind and warm air providing temperatures several degrees above seasonal. We'll see it tomorrow and the weekend. And high pressure is going to take over. That means a clearing, and I think it's going to be here for quite some time, several days, in fact. I'll break down what you need to know as we head towards the first weekend of fall just ahead. For now, I'll send it back inside.
We want to warn our viewers some of the details in this next story are graphic. A forensic pathologist took the stand this morning in the trial of Brian Marbury, a Michigan man facing first-degree murder charges in the death of his estranged wife, Sarah Boulay. CTV's Bob Belichico was in court and files this report.
The jury heard evidence Tuesday from a former Hiatus House employee who first alerted police to the disappearance of 36-year-old Sarah Boulay. Bailey Grant, who worked at the shelter for women fleeing violence, told the court that Boulay, a client at the time, had signed out for an excursion but never returned. When Boulay failed to check back in within the 24-hour time frame, Grant contacted Windsor police to report her missing. Grant explained clients are required to let staff know where they are going and when they are expected back. If planning an overnight stay, they must also provide an address and contact number. Grant says there is also an informal no-contact list used internally to flag individuals clients should avoid. However, she couldn't confirm whether Brian Marbury, Boulay's estranged husband, was on Boulay's no-contact list. Sarah Boulay was last seen alive on May 26th. Marbury was arrested June 5th and charged with her murder. He has pleaded not guilty. The court also heard Tuesday from a Transit Windsor driver who confirmed that Marbury boarded the tunnel bus to Detroit on May 29th, the same day Boulay was reported missing. The final witness of the day was David Ennis, who says he knew Boulay for about a week and a half before she died. He says he saw her 5 times during that time and spent a lot of time with her talking and texting on the phone. Ennis described their first meeting saying he was taken by her beauty and stopped to offer Boulay a ride. They ended up spending most of the day together before he dropped her off at a corner near the Hiatus House. The last day he spent with her, Ennis said they took a trip to Colchester and enjoyed the majority of the day together. He found out Boulay was missing after seeing a picture of her in the media. Being concerned, Ennis says he tried calling her on June 1st, but no one answered. The prosecution is alleging Marbury learned Boulay had a new man in her life and was jealous. The trial continues Wednesday. Bob Belichico, CTV News.
We apologize. That story aired yesterday. We will have the new report coming up in just a moment. Meantime, Windsor police seized over $15,000 in illegal drugs from a psilocybin dispensary downtown. Officers with the Drugs and Guns Unit raided the shop on Olet just before 11:30 Wednesday morning. Among the items seized, psilocybin-infused gummies, capsules, chocolate bars, dried mushrooms, and nearly $3,000 in cash. A 52-year-old employee has been charged with possession for the purpose of trafficking. Psilocybin, also known as magic mushrooms, is illegal in Canada. Health Canada warns it can cause hallucinations, anxiety, and elevated heart rates. Charges have now been laid following a crash Wednesday morning in Windsor involving a motorcycle. A 62-year-old driver has been charged with failing to remain at the scene of an accident resulting in bodily harm. As we reported yesterday, officers were called to the crash at Dougal Avenue and the eastbound off-ramp to the EC Row Expressway. This happening around 5:30 Wednesday morning. According to police, a motorcycle traveling south on Dougal was struck by a vehicle turning onto the expressway. Police say the driver of the vehicle failed to stop and fled from the scene. The motorcyclist, a 59-year-old, was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Seniors living in an Olet Avenue apartment building are speaking out tonight against their landlord.
I'm worried because they charge me $400 more a month. A month. For me and some people, 50% more.
15 tenants rallied out front of 1653 Olet Avenue this afternoon. Their building is operated by the I.L. Peretz Corporation, which is tied to the Windsor Jewish Federation. Tenants allege some rents have increased by about 50%. to about $1,300. Many of the seniors we spoke with say they're living on a fixed income. Those unable to pay the large increases say they are facing eviction. We spoke with the president of the Jewish Federation, who declined to comment. Residents protesting today feel the increases warrant an investigation to determine if the actions are legal.
I just want different people to know what's going on in this building, because if it happens to us, it can happen to anyone.
Staff at a Tilbury retirement home say they've waited long enough for a fair contract. Hudson Manor employees have gone nearly 2 years without a contract, and today they took their fight public, holding an information picket today outside of the home. CTV's Sanjay Maru was there.
Welcome. You gotta win this thing, eh?
Understaffed and overworked. That's how the union describes conditions for employees here at Hudson Manor in Tilbury. And residents say they're feeling it too.
They do everything. If we want something done, or if we're lonely, or if we can't sleep at night, they're there for us.
Fair wages! Fair wages!
25 employees take care of 37 residents here, and that includes assisting with bathing, dressing, medication, meals, and housekeeping. The union says members have been working without a contract for nearly 2 years, many of them earning just a couple dollars more than minimum wage.
Being here for 23 years and not making $20 an hour seems to be really hard. We're training people that make almost as much money as us, which we just want a fair contract.
Longtime staff say that's led to high turnover, new hires often leaving within months for better pay elsewhere.
They come, they train here, and then they can find out they can go to Bell River, Chatham, and make $25 an hour, $27 to start.
Because this is a healthcare facility, workers cannot legally strike. Instead, they're restricted to information pickets like this one, hoping to pressure the employer back to the bargaining table quickly.
He's taking advantage of the staff that love these residents, come to work every day for the residents. They're frustrated with the not getting raises properly. They just want to negotiate a fair, decent contract for a living wage.
In a statement, Hudson Manor says it has been actively engaged in bargaining with Unifor Local 1941. The company says at the union's request, both sides have agreed to arbitration. That is scheduled for February 2026.
If we have to come out and do it again, we will. We're trying to get this employer to the table and realize these workers are worth getting to the table and giving them what they need.
In Tilbury, Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
We return back to Superior Court now in the ongoing trial of Brian Marbury, a Michigan man facing first-degree murder charges in the death of his estranged wife. Once again, some of the details in this story are graphic. Here's Bob Belichico.
Day 7 of the Brian Marbury murder trial focused on graphic forensic evidence as a pathologist took the stand to describe the condition of Sarah Boulet's body following her disappearance and death in 2023. Dr. Elena Tugaleva, a forensic pathologist, performed the postmortem on June 7, 2023, a day after Boulet was officially pronounced dead. Boulet had been reported missing a week earlier on May 30th by a former staff member at the Hiatus House, a local women's shelter. Dr. Tugaleva told the court not all deaths warrant an autopsy unless there's a matter of public interest. In this case, one was necessary. She testified that Boulet's body arrived wrapped in a fluid-soaked bedsheet and was in a state of moderate to advanced decomposition. Evidence of insect and animal activity was present. There was also visible injuries that pointed out to trauma before she died. One of the most significant findings was a laceration on the upper left side of the scalp, consistent with a blow from a blunt object. Tugaleva testified that the wound likely occurred around the time of death. Other external injuries included bruising at multiple spots on her body. Internally, the pathologist found hemorrhaging in the chest, as well as a broken right shoulder blade and multiple rib fractures on both sides. Quote, "There was no sign of healing," she testified. A key point, as Tugaleva suggests, the rib injuries occurred before death. Dr. Tugaleva ruled out strangulation and said cause of death is undetermined. In his cross-examination, defense lawyer Ken Marley suggested to Tugaleva she couldn't remember for certain if any of the injuries are tied to Boulet's death, to which she answered, quote, "No, I cannot." The trial continues Friday.
Mediation is scheduled for tomorrow to help end a strike at colleges across the province, including St. Clair College. 10,000 of college support staff walked off the job earlier this month after failing to reach a new contract agreement. They are seeking better wages and benefits, but the union says job security is its top priority. The College Employer Council claims that meeting the demands would expose schools to more than $900 million in additional costs. OPSU Local 137 represents approximately 685 part-time and 195 full-time support staff members at St. Clair College in Windsor and Chatham-Kent. That includes technicians and technologists, clerks, assistants, analysts, tutors, and facilities operators. Turning to some younger students, the Catholic School Board is reporting an enrollment surge to more than 25,000 students for this school year, higher than predicted. And it's the third consecutive year of increased enrollment. The Director of Education, Imelda Burney, says there are more than 750 new students. Enrollment now totals 15,000 elementary students, 8,500 in secondary school, and 1,000 adults at St. Michael's. Burney credits the growth to in-demand programs like skilled trades and STEM. Higher enrollment means more provincial funding, and Burney says that's already being used for new resources, including ESL supports, literacy tools, and classroom furniture. The board has responded by hiring 66 new full-time teachers, 39 in elementary, 27 in secondary, as enrollment rises for a third straight year. Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, Canada Post is bleeding money, and now door-to-door delivery is on the chopping block. What it means for your mail next. Canada's deficit is soaring, blamed on slow growth and trade wars. When we return, the cuts still up in the air. And tomorrow, tariffs hit Windsor first. Now Ottawa's firing back. The federal game plan offers help for workers and businesses in this area. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. The way you ship packages and receive a mail is about to change dramatically. A struggling Canada Post got directions from Ottawa today on how to get the Crown Corporation back on track. CTV's Rachel Aiello on the major changes and how they will affect you.
We learned today that Canada Post is effectively insolvent, and the situation facing an institution generations of Canadians have relied on is unsustainable. So the government is forcing immediate changes to mail delivery to try and save money. How and how often Canadians' mail is delivered is changing. Today, the federal government directed Canada Post to end door-to-door delivery, lifting the decade-old moratorium on community mailbox conversions.
I want to be clear. Canada Post has an obligation to serve all Canadians in every community in Canada, and that will not change.
While 3/4 of Canadians already receive mail in a communal location, within the next 9 years, the remaining 4 million addresses will stop seeing mail carriers at their door.
Canada Post will inform Canadians as they go.
Citing reduced demand, Canada Post is also being told to lower its letter mail delivery standard, meaning instead of it taking between 2 and 4 days for small deliveries, it could take up to 7. And changes are also coming to rural post office operations, as recently recommended by an industrial inquiry.
These measures will help stabilize Canada Post's financial situation by generating close to $500 million per year.
Since 2018, Canada Post has lost more than $5 billion and is on track to lose close to $1.5 billion more this year. And stalled labor negotiations between postal workers and management have exacerbated the crisis. Despite the minister's hope this move could bring both sides back to the bargaining table, the union is already sounding alarms about job cuts.
We're not going to take that laying down. Instead of improving the service, they're going to cut the service, so there's going to be nothing left of it.
The government says while it is removing barriers to reform, the corporation also needs to reduce costs and review its management structure. In a statement, Canada Post said it welcomes the changes and vowed to work with urgency to implement them. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
With the federal budget still 5 weeks away, comes word from the parliamentary budget officer that Ottawa's annual deficit is expected to balloon to $68.5 billion this year, something that will be revealed fully on November 4th. CTV's Abigail Beeman digs deeper into the implications.
The parliamentary budget officer briefs a committee of MPs on his new economic and fiscal outlook.
I think everybody should be concerned. It's a really serious day.
The report projects a sharp hike to the annual deficit from $51.7 billion last year to $68.5 billion this year.
All of which will add to the cost of living for Canadians. Why is it, how is it possible that any prime minister could have been more expensive than Trudeau?
A large part of that is in response to what has happened, not by choice, but we had to be there for workers. If you're in the auto sector, the steel industry, in the forestry industry, you expect your government to be there.
The report includes $115 billion in announced new spending, but notably does not include the prime minister's commitment to hit the NATO target of 5% of defense spending by 2035, or any of the government's spending review that's expected to hit 15% in cuts by 2029.
I think the government is in a bind right now trying to deal with this trade war and the effects on the economy.
Still so many question marks around both spending and cuts unaccounted for in this update, with the budget and potential answers still 6 weeks away. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Premier Doug Ford announced a ban on speed cameras today, reiterating his belief, calling them a cash grab. He wants them gone by next month, offering alternative safety measures in their place. Siobhan Morris reports.
In a matter of weeks, speed cameras like this will be nothing more than expensive pieces of street art. The Premier planning legislation to turn speed cameras off this fall. While Doug Ford's government paved the way for these cameras,
it's out of control right now, and things have changed.
Calling the use of cameras to catch and fine speeders a cash grab. By November 14th, municipalities with cameras have to put up warning signs in school zones to slow drivers down. The province ready to work with them on traffic calming measures that don't involve tickets.
If you have a speed bump, you aren't zipping by at all. Or if you have a roundabout, you aren't zipping by. And the warning with the flashing signs coming at you, you know to slow down.
The plan has approval of the association speaking for Ontario police officers.
Officers are able to exercise discretion, offer real-time education, and deliver accountability in ways that cameras simply cannot.
But the Association of Chiefs of Police of Ontario have warned ending the use of cameras will put pedestrians at risk. Research from Sick Kids shows cameras have cut the number of speeding drivers in school zones by nearly half. Ford says he respects those groups, but
they'd have 0 tickets if they slowed them down. Instead, we're seeing hundreds of thousands of tickets. That's the proof in the pudding right there.
He emphasizes most municipalities don't have cameras.
Municipalities have lost the public trust on the issue of ASC cameras.
Vaughan ended its speed camera program a few weeks ago after resident pushback and an explosion in tickets.
The people of this city, and I suspect the people of Ontario, want us to focus on what I will call the real criminals.
Killers and thieves. Waterloo Region set up brand new speed cameras on roads it controls in Kitchener just yesterday. But the mayor of that city isn't a fan.
We believe that our Vision Zero initiatives, built on a foundation of changing behavior through road design and not punitive measures, has been the best tool to balance safety and affordability.
Other mayors hope they can change the Premier's mind.
Mr. Ford, please leave the cameras alone. Leave them in front of schools. I know him to be a compassionate person. He does not want the injury or death of a child on his conscience.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News, Toronto.
Canada's main stock index finished lower, weighed down by losses in the technology sector. In Toronto, the TSX lost 25 points. In New York, the Dow fell 174. The Nasdaq dropped 113. The Canadian dollar is down almost 1/5 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold gained $3 an ounce. Oil lost just a penny a barrel. Robot umpires are heading to the big leagues in 2026. Coming up, how the tech works and when these automated officials will be called to the plate.
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot for tonight. Thanks to Brianna for sending in this great image. Do you have a weather image that could be our next snapshot? Text it to us at 10400. We'll talk sunshine for Friday, the weekend, and beyond coming up.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Mix of sun and clouds. Gary joins me again to talk about sunshine. Gary.
More sunshine. We'll see it for tomorrow and the weekend. Yesterday was a busy day weather-wise. We had significant thunderstorm activity in just a little sliver of extreme southwestern Ontario, Harrow, Colchester. We've been looking at our friends in southern Essex County with some flooding, and they're trying to dry out. Now we're in a bit of the clearing. We've reached a high between 23 and 24 degrees, mostly cloudy, but a bit more sunshine towards the latter stage of the afternoon. Now into the early stage of the evening. The air quality is rated a 3 on the AQI. That's considered decent, so that's good news. Holding at 23, mostly cloudy, but again, some breaks. 73 Fahrenheit, that's the equivalent. 22, a degree cooler in Chatham-Kent, or 72 Fahrenheit, the sky condition similar. Humidex, what it feels like, balmy 27 in Windsor, 26 in Chatham-Kent, 26 in Leamington, Kingsville, Amherstburg about 25. And we're still looking at warm temperatures across much of the province of Ontario. It's 23 in Thunder Bay. Toronto's a bit cooler, 21. We'll still be in, I would say, a mild flow for the rest of tonight, and the overnight temperatures are mid-teens. This system of low pressure brought us all of that rain. It's sweeping towards the Atlantic coast for southern Quebec, the eastern townships, the Maritimes, Atlantic Canada. They're getting soaked over the next few days. Meanwhile, a ridge of high pressure will be building. We could see some fog tomorrow morning dissipating by sunrise or just after. There is a slight chance of very isolated light drizzle, light rain showers between now and 9 p.m. I would say 10 o'clock, we're even or less than 30% chance. The winds is calm right now and through the overnight. Take a look at our 7-day forecast, courtesy of Enercare Siles. 7-day, and the outlook is grand. After fog in the morning, we'll see sunshine. And the UV index is rated high for the next 7 days, so keep that in mind. 24 and sunny in the afternoon Friday. 25, 26, sunny Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mostly sunny. The average temperature is about 24.5 degrees, almost 25. The sunshine promised is coming. Let's look at your 7-day forecast.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
There are new signs that Ontario's Rowan's Law is making a difference. The goal of the law is to make it easier for those who experience concussions to speak up, get help, and take the time they need to recover. CTV's Dave Charbonneau reports on a new study that is showing a drop in sports-related brain injuries since the concussion safety law was introduced.
When I was playing rugby once, I should not have kept going because it hurt really badly and I knew I should stay out of the game.
Lucy Byrne and Kenzie Carrier know firsthand the risks of playing through a head injury.
I was tackled onto the ground, and then as I was getting up, my player was running over me. She kicked me right in the head, and I completely just fell down to the ground. I ended up diving for a ball, and I hit my head on the ground when I dove for the ball. So it was not a fun experience to have, so headaches after.
The third Wednesday of September is Rowan's Law Day, helping bring awareness to concussions in sport. It's named in honor of Rowan Stringer, an Ottawa teen who died in 2013 while trying to play through a concussion. The law mandates sports organizations to follow strict guidelines to identify injuries and to protect athletes.
Oftentimes, athletes try and push themselves to the limits, and as you can see in Rowan's case, it didn't end well, and we really want to eliminate that risk.
Wednesday, grade 12 students at St. Peter Catholic School helped spread that awareness to some of the younger students.
Our whole purpose is spreading the awareness of head safety and concussion awareness and the severity of injuries to the head, and trying to keep that dialogue of communicating with health professionals, your parents, your teachers, your coach.
A new report shows Rowan's Law has made a difference. Sports-related traumatic injuries have dropped by nearly 10%.
These injuries are life-altering, and they're very, very challenging, not for the people, just the people themselves, but the families.
When in doubt, sit them out.
The message from Rugby Ontario is clear, and now coaches, officials, and even spectators have the tools to help.
So anytime that there is a suspected head injury or concussion within the field of play, whether that be in the match or in a training environment, officials around the game, coaches, parents, spectators are now equipped with the knowledge and the resources to be able to trigger a blue card, which will ultimately remove that player from play.
For Kenzie Carrier, she's glad the rules are in place.
They ended up sort of testing me and testing my memory, testing my balance, dizziness, all of that. And then I had to sit off for the rest of the practice.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
Coming up in What's Up YQG, Johnny, we have a good one this week.
Oh yeah, we're at the Heimat for Oktoberfest. Throws!
5K a day is back on 93.9
Virgin Radio.
Listen to Hannah and Johnny in the morning for your chance to win $5,000
Every weekday.
5K a day.
Virgin Radio.
It's a big week for the Windsor Lawn Bowling Club. They have hosted 3 international teams since last week. The Canadian men took first place at the Atlantic International Challenge against the U.S., Scotland, and Ireland. The women finished 3rd, as did the able-bodied team. The club didn't miss a beat. The Zayres International Open got underway today. It's been a good season.
There's nothing else like it in Canada for the last 30 years, as you know. Our members have been excited. Like, they've just worked so hard on this, and they're seeing the results now.
Then you got tomorrow, another one starting.
Yeah, tomorrow is a Pro-Am, where all the players on the international side in this event will be matched up with non-internationals in a friendly but competitive event, and it's the Zayres International Open. You know, an $8,000 prize pool. That's unheard of in Canada.
The only certainty for baseball fans at this point is what's coming next season. Automated umpires in the major leagues. CTV's Adrian Gobriel is at the Rogers Center with a preview of the future.
But it's a strike, and again, not reviewable. Oh, boy. And then that call goes against them.
In baseball, 3 strikes has always meant you're out.
That ball a good 3 inches off the outside corner.
Often leading to close quarter disagreements.
They are yelling at each other like this close, like face to face. The really immature managers are kicking dirt on the ump.
And Billy is not going to go quietly.
They've been sort of like Supreme Court justices. There has been no higher court.
That will change as of next season. Major League Baseball confirming that each team will get 2 chances to challenge a ball or a strike as it ushers in the era of robot umpiring using an automated ball strike system known as ABS.
This is a very good day for baseball fans, because the last thing you want is games ended because of a bad call.
Utilizing a dozen cameras positioned around the field, ABS technology is also being used in tennis and football. The league says it will take no more than 15 seconds for a challenged pitch to be decided.
And the average replay challenge took 13.8 seconds. And there's only 4 challenges in the course of a game. So we're literally talking about 57 seconds added to a game.
Baseball pundits say the move can't come soon enough.
Baseball's been going on since the 19th century. Baseball's been going on since before the First World War. And now they're finally doing this.
It's important to note that the human element of the game will remain unchanged. Umpires will still be behind home plate. Those we spoke with, though, hope this will encourage the men in black to step up their game. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Turning now to our new weekly segment, What's Up YQG with Johnny Parks from our sister station Virgin Radio and our own Melanie Kettner. I understand you both are still celebrating Oktoberfest.
Yeah, we had so much fun at Oktoberfest last week that we wanted to keep it going this week, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, we're at Heimat Banquet Center, and we've got the organizers here. Tell us what's so special about this Oktoberfest.
Well, this one here, we've been fortunate for the past 10 years to have the only true, authentic Oktoberfest beer straight from Munich from Paulaner Brewery, as well as such a great customer base and wonderful atmosphere. This year in particular, we have something special. We have a real Munich Oktoberfest server that came to join us for the month.
So tell us, how do you think that this Oktoberfest will compare to the ones in Munich that you've been a part of?
I think it will be less stressful and also less crazy than the Oktoberfest in Munich, but I'm looking forward to this one.
And I'm looking forward to some beer being poured for me as well.
And I'm looking forward to Johnny doing some dancing. We're going to come back to that in a second.
Okay.
But first, it's not just beer making a splash this weekend, Johnny.
Yeah, Aqua is going to be at Caesars Windsor Friday at 8, so you're probably familiar with Dr. Jones or Barbie Girl. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
That's right. That's a blast from the past. How about some high-flying entertainment?
Yeah, the Under the Big Top Gala is also going to be in town on Friday, and that does help We Care for Kids, with proceeds going towards pediatric care in Windsor, Essex.
That sounds great. And so does the Hospice Savor the Wine Tour.
Yes, so that is going to be going down at local wineries. You can get some good taste going on, and then there's going to be a dinner at Chicharo with some dancing under the stars.
Speaking of dancing, Johnny, you're up. Okay,
Is it time?
let's do the
Okay.
dancing.
This is called the bench dance, I'm told.
All right, Johnny, I can see the improvements already.
Ooh, thank you, Ryan. I feel like an expert now. That was great.
Great job. Don't forget, Heimat Oktoberfest. Of course, we put all the links on our website. That's What's Up, YQG.
Would you text your ex for $10,000? 89X is back. Listen for the keywords and text your ex. It's never been more rewarding to get back with your ex. Only on Windsor's Alternative, 89X.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. You're invited to the Do Good Divas annual A Girls' Night Out in Handbag Heaven. Proceeds benefit the Habitat for Humanity, Windsor, Essex. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Kate Otterbein. And Kate, it's a jazzy day in the city.
It absolutely is. It's a big day for jazz musician Russ Macklem, to be specific. He is celebrating the release of his second album. The record is called Introducing the Russ Macklem Detroit Quintet and showcases the trumpeter's working band of the past 2 years. Unlike his first recording, a live session in 2023, this album was produced in studio inside a converted church near Detroit. Macklem says the new project reflects his growth as a writer and performer and his close ties to the Detroit jazz community.
When I recorded the first album, I was still pretty kind of emotionally raw from the pandemic. But since then, I feel like Detroit has been kind of my musical finishing school. I gained a lot of sort of maturity in both my playing and my writing.
We've got these details and more online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Now, Kate, it's not saved by the bell, it's saved by the bee. This is a message from Windsor Fire. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Test those smoke alarms. That's what Fire Chief Jamie Waffle is encouraging Windsor to do to make sure your alarms are in working order. Waffle said they should be tested monthly, batteries need to be replaced yearly, and the alarms replaced every 10 years. The city says there has been a rise in fatalities from house fires. So far this year, there have been 92 fatal fires in Ontario. Waffle says a smoke alarm is your best protection. More on the importance of smoke alarms is available online. And in our social spotlight tonight, this little guy has learned what he looks like.
So taking a couple of breaths here.
This puppy is at a puppy yoga event, but steals the show. There's no doing yoga while this is happening. And I mean, come on, he's so cute. How can you not admire yourself? Now, Stefanie, this might come as a little bit of a shock, knowing me, but puppy yoga has always been on my bucket list.
Oh my God, you haven't done it? You must. I know we have goat yoga in the area, so you're gonna have to try that. But whether it's a puppy or a goat, I highly doubt that much yoga actually goes on. You're just there playing with them. They're so adorable.
Definitely not, but any animals, I'm in.
Okay, so if some of our viewers have cool video that they want to send us for the trending segment, how can they do that?
You can send us an email at newsnow@bellmedia.ca, or if you prefer to text, you can send it to 10400.
She is a punk pup rocking a punk collar, but her name is anything but. The heartwarming story behind this not-so-rebellious rescue dog. That's when we return.
The latest news to start your day.
Interviews, conversations with the top officials, the difference makers, and personalities in Windsor, Essex.
Only on Windsor, Essex #1 morning show.
It's Mornings with Mike and Meg on AM 800.
Pretty, love the skyline there. But I love your 7-day forecast, at least the sunshine across the board.
Well, I can take no credit for the sunshine, but perhaps you like the graphics, right? It tells a story of high pressure taking over in beautiful conditions, really. Temperatures above seasonal. Our average high for this time of the year is 20. Average low is 10, so take a look. The average temperature over the next 7 days will be close to 25 degrees Celsius, so 5 degrees above seasonal. Sunny Friday afternoon, sunny all day for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. As of right now, sunshine dominates. The probability of precipitation is actually less than 5% for the next 4 days straight, less than 10 for the next 7. So it's going to be sunny and dry.
I feel like a lot of families will be either going to apple orchards, pumpkin patches this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, speed cameras, Michelle, still a hot topic, not only locally, but of course across the province.
Yeah, absolutely. Big news today out of Toronto from Doug Ford. So we're planning to get some local reaction tonight to Doug Ford's plan to ban speed cameras. As we told you earlier this week, Windsor, is scheduled to get 5 in local school zones this coming December. What now? Also, we're just learning about the city has plans for a major restoration project over at Willisted Park. I'll have those details tonight at 11.
Okay, a beautiful, iconic building in our area. Okay, just as you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, the same rules apply to a pup and its collar. Take this dog, for example. Her punk rock fashion is a far cry from her sweet demeanor and her name. Here's Adam Sawatsky.
Atta girl.
This dog could be called anything, but Fido or Fluffy is unlikely when her fashion is this fierce.
Oh, well, for sure, punk rock, right?
And it wouldn't be wrong to say Donna Mae, who once shaved her head, grew up appreciating punk.
Probably a little screw you to the establishment felt good when you're younger, but then the music just hooks you.
So, instead of a classic like Rover, it wouldn't be surprising if Donna named her pup after a rocker like Rotten, Ramone, or Iggy.
Iggy Pop.
Donna didn't. But to appreciate what she did name this dog, we need to go back to when her previous pup, Kiwi, died.
Love of my life, Kiwi. Yeah, I was heartbroken.
And like a punk might armor themselves in a black leather jacket, Donna barricaded the pet part of her heart.
Never wanted another dog.
But then the folks at a dog rescue kept sending her pictures of this pup, and Donna agreed to temporarily foster Mika.
But she had no reaction to her former name. I would say it, there was nothing.
But there was something about the way this little dog found a way to fill that big hole in Donna's heart and heal it.
She's just sweet as can be. So we called her Sweet Pea, and she responds, like, right away.
So, Sweet Pea stuck. Donna adopted her, and now the dog mom is adding a couple DIY projects to her collection of vintage T-shirts. But instead of featuring punk bands on the front, Donna's hand-sewn pop pockets.
So that I can put her in them.
What?
And have my hands free.
Because all Sweet Pea really wants to do is cuddle as close as she can, as often as she can, despite her collar conveying the contrary.
I think she might be a poser. She just really looks good in her collar.
There's no punk spirit here.
Probably more of a classical girl.
Probably. But perhaps smashing open a heart hardened by loss, and like Iggy Pop reigniting a lust for life, all the while being named Sweet Pea, is also kind of punk. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Burnaby.
I'm assuming all of our viewers out there who are dog owners themselves have a very special story about how they met their dog. But Gary, I'm wondering, what does Dino's collar look like? And does it reflect his personality?
Yeah, it's a Toronto Maple Leafs color.
Nice.
Perfect.
So,
yeah, it's perfect.
That works.
We're a hockey household.
Yeah, of course. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
I'll be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
Good night.
Good night.